Think about how many times a day you say, "I'm sorry," not for a big mistake, but for something small. "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I hold you up? Sorry, I can't quite hear that. I'm sorry, I just need a moment." It's almost automatic. Isn't it a reflex? A tiny verbal tick we've developed over years, a way to navigate the world without causing a ripple. But what if all those little apologies, those tiny concessions, are actually dimming your light? What if they're quietly telling you, and everyone around you, that your needs, your pace, your very presence require an excuse? It's a painful reality that for many of us, as we gain years, we often feel the need to shrink, to make ourselves smaller, to justify our existence or our choices. We've been taught to be polite, to not make waves, and sometimes that translates into perpetually saying sorry for simply being ourselves. But here's the secret: you've earned the right to take up space, to live authentically, without constant self-censure. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 powerful things that older adults should absolutely stop apologizing for, starting today. Get ready to feel a profound sense of liberation, and make sure you watch right to the very end, because there's something waiting for you that might genuinely surprise you, shifting your perspective in a powerful way. Now, let's dive right into the first area where you can simply stop saying, "I'm sorry." The very first thing you should stop apologizing for is taking time for yourself or slowing down. How often do you find yourself rushing, feeling guilty if you're not constantly doing something productive, or apologizing for needing a moment to catch your breath? Maybe you're walking with someone, and they're a bit faster, and you find yourself saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a bit slow today." Or perhaps you decline an invitation because you genuinely feel tired and need a quiet evening, but you feel compelled to offer a lengthy explanation, almost an apology, for your decision. We live in a world that often glorifies speed and constant activity. From a young age, we're encouraged to be busy, to achieve, to always be on the go. This ingrained habit of busyness can follow us right into our later years, even when our bodies and minds are asking for something different. The truth is, your pace is your pace. It's a natural rhythm that's unique to you, and it might have shifted over the years, and that's perfectly normal and perfectly okay. There's no inherent virtue in rushing. In fact, taking your time, moving with intention, and giving yourself permission to simply be can be incredibly beneficial for your physical and mental well-being. It allows for mindfulness, for truly experiencing the world around you, rather than just hurrying through it. It's about honoring your body's signals and respecting your own energy levels. So, the next time you find yourself wanting to apologize for not keeping up, or for needing a moment to rest, pause. Instead of, "I'm sorry I'm slow," perhaps try, "I'm enjoying the scenery," or simply, "I'll be there when I get there." Give yourself that gentle permission. Moving on. The second thing you should absolutely stop apologizing for is not knowing the latest technology or trends. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone is talking about a new app, a social media platform, or a pop culture phenomenon, and you find yourself feeling a little lost? Perhaps you've even started to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just not very good with computers." Or, "I'm sorry. I don't really understand TikTok." There's a pervasive myth that everyone, regardless of age, must be fluent in every new digital frontier or cultural shift. This is simply not true. The world of technology and popular culture is constantly evolving at a dizzying speed. It's nearly impossible for anyone, let alone someone who has lived through decades of incredible change, to keep up with every single innovation or trend. Your life experience, your wisdom, and your knowledge of the world are incredibly rich and valuable, far more so than knowing how to use the latest gadget. There's no shame in not being an expert in something that might have only existed for a few years, or even a few months. Your worth isn't tied to your digital literacy. Instead of apologizing, you could simply say, That's interesting. Tell me more about it. Or, I'm not familiar with that, but I'm happy to learn. Or even, you know, I find joy in other things. There's a beautiful confidence in acknowledging what you don't know without feeling less than. You have a lifetime of stories and insights that these fleeting trends can't even begin to touch. Embrace the depth of your own understanding and don't feel obligated to navigate every digital current. And that brings us to the third crucial thing. You should stop apologizing for prioritizing your health and well-being. This might seem obvious, but how many times have you felt guilty about needing to leave an event early because you needed to get enough sleep, or felt bad for declining a dessert that doesn't align with your dietary needs? Or perhaps you've felt the need to apologize for frequent doctor's appointments, or for needing specific accommodations to manage your health conditions. I'm so sorry. I have to go. My early night is calling. Or, I'm sorry. I can't eat that. My digestion isn't what it used to be. As we age, our bodies inevitably change and often require a bit more care and attention. Taking proactive steps for your health is not a weakness. It's an act of profound self-respect and self-preservation. It's about ensuring you have the energy and vitality to enjoy your life to the fullest. You are not inconveniencing anyone by taking care of yourself. In fact, by modeling healthy boundaries and self-care, you might even inspire others around you. Your health is your most precious asset, and it is entirely within your right to make choices that support it without explanation or apology. So, the next time you need to make a choice for your well-being, whether it's opting for a walk instead of sitting, choosing a healthier meal, or excusing yourself for rest, do so with confidence. Your body and mind will thank you. Now that we've discussed the importance of taking your time, not needing to be a tech guru, and prioritizing your own health, let's move on to some equally liberating insights that will allow you to live even more authentically. Next, let's talk about the fourth thing. You absolutely do not need to apologize for saying no to social engagements or commitments. Think about how often you've felt pressured to say yes when your heart was screaming no. Perhaps it's a family gathering that feels overwhelming, a community event that drains your energy, or a favor someone asks that simply doesn't fit your schedule or your capacity. And what's our default reaction? Often, it's a hesitant yes, followed by a quiet, I'm so sorry, I'm not feeling great, or I'm sorry, I'm just so busy. Even if the real truth is, I simply don't want to. The feeling of obligation can be incredibly powerful, especially for those of us who have spent decades nurturing relationships and contributing to our communities. We want to be helpful, to be present, to not disappoint others. But here's a vital truth: your time and energy are finite, precious resources. As you get older, conserving that energy and directing it towards what truly brings you joy and fulfillment becomes even more important. Saying no isn't a rejection of the person or the activity. It's an affirmation of your own needs and boundaries. It's an act of self-preservation. You don't owe anyone a lengthy explanation or an apology for declining an invitation. A simple, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I won't be able to make it." Or, "I appreciate the offer, but I need to decline this time," is perfectly sufficient. You'll find that the people who truly care about you will understand and respect your choices. And for those who don't, well, perhaps their understanding isn't your burden to carry. Embrace the freedom that comes with honoring your own capacity. Now that we've explored the power of saying no, let's consider the fifth item on our list: sharing your wisdom and life experiences. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation, perhaps with younger generations, where you have a valuable insight or a relevant story from your past, but you hesitate? You might catch yourself thinking, "Oh, they probably don't want to hear this," or "I'm sorry, I'm just rambling on," or even worse, you begin your story with an actual apology. "I'm sorry, this might be boring, but..." This tendency to apologize for your own history is a disservice to yourself and to those around you. You have lived through so much, seen so many changes, navigated countless challenges, and celebrated innumerable triumphs. Your life is a rich tapestry of experiences, lessons learned, and perspectives gained. This isn't just rambling. It's a priceless repository of wisdom that can offer guidance, comfort, and even inspiration to others. Younger generations, in particular, often crave the authenticity and grounding that comes from hearing real-life stories, far more than they let on. They might not always know how to ask, or they might be caught up in their own rapid pace. But your insights can be a beacon. Don't diminish the value of your journey by apologizing for it. When you have something to share it with confidence. You don't need to preface it with an apology. Instead of, "I'm sorry, this might be boring," try, "This reminds me of something important I learned." Or, "I have a story that might shed some light on that." Your experiences are your legacy, and they deserve to be heard. Moving forward. The sixth thing you should absolutely stop apologizing for is having different opinions or setting boundaries. In many social settings, there's an unspoken pressure to agree, to conform, to avoid any kind of perceived conflict. Especially as we get older, we might apologize if our political views differ, if our lifestyle choices don't align with the majority, or if we gently assert a personal boundary. "I'm sorry, but I just don't see it that way." Or, "I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable with that." Your opinions, shaped by a lifetime of critical thought and personal experience, are valid. They don't need to be softened or excused with an apology. Healthy relationships and vibrant communities thrive on a diversity of thought, not on uniform agreement. Disagreeing respectfully isn't rude. It's a sign of intellectual engagement and authenticity. Similarly, setting boundaries, whether it's about what topics you'll discuss, how you'll be treated, or what personal space you need, is a fundamental aspect of self-respect. It's about protecting your emotional and mental well-being. You are not responsible for managing other people's reactions to your authentic self. You are simply responsible for living true to yourself. So, if you hold a different view, express it clearly and calmly, without apology. If you need to set a boundary, state it firmly and respectfully. "I understand your perspective, and mine is different," or "I prefer not to discuss that topic." These statements are powerful in their simplicity and lack of apology, clearly communicating your stance without diminishing your own position. Your integrity is worth protecting. And finally, for this section, the seventh vital thing you should stop apologizing for is embracing your personal style and comfort over fleeting trends. How often do we see people, particularly older adults, feeling self-conscious about their clothing, their hair, their hobbies, simply because they don't conform to what's currently considered fashionable or youthful? You might hear someone say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just wearing my comfy shoes." Or, "I'm sorry, my hair isn't as fashionable as it used to be." But here's the beautiful truth: you have lived long enough to know what suits you, what feels good, and what brings you genuine comfort and joy. Your personal style is an extension of your unique personality, developed over decades. It reflects your taste, your values, and your lived experience. It doesn't need to cater to anyone else's expectations or the ever-changing whims of the fashion industry. Comfort is not a vice. It's a legitimate need, especially as our bodies change. Choosing clothing that allows you to move freely, shoes that support you, and activities that genuinely bring you pleasure is an act of self-love. There is profound confidence in someone who owns their choices, who dresses for themselves, and who pursues hobbies that truly resonate with them, regardless of what's in. So, wear those comfortable shoes with pride. Choose clothes that make you feel good, and engage in the activities that light you up. Your authenticity is far more appealing than any fleeting trend. There is no apology necessary for being authentically and comfortably you. Now that we've walked through these 7 empowering shifts, let's tie it all together and discover the truly surprising benefit that awaits you when you shed the weight of unnecessary apologies. We've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From letting go of apologizing for taking your own sweet time and accepting your natural pace, to embracing the freedom of not being a tech wizard. We've discussed the liberation that comes with prioritizing your health without guilt, and the quiet strength found in confidently saying no when it's right for you. We also explored the incredible value in unreservedly sharing your lifetime of wisdom, standing firm in your unique opinions and boundaries, and finally, celebrating your personal style and comfort without an ounce of self-consciousness. Each of these points, on its own, holds a key to greater self-acceptance, but together, they unlock something truly transformative. Remember, every time you needlessly apologize, it's like you're shrinking a little piece of yourself. You're sending a subtle message, both to yourself and to the world, that your existence, your choices, or your very being needs an excuse. Imagine the cumulative effect of a lifetime of these small, unnecessary apologies. They can chip away at your confidence, erode your self-worth, and leave you feeling less than you truly are. But when you consciously decide to stop this habit, when you choose to simply be without constantly seeking permission or forgiveness for who you are, something remarkable happens. You start to reclaim your power. You begin to walk taller, both literally and figuratively. The energy you use to expend on crafting explanations or feeling guilty now becomes available for genuine connection, for pursuing your passions, for truly living. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about being authentic and respectful of yourself. It's about understanding that your worth is inherent, not something that needs to be constantly justified or excused. Think about the ripple effect this has. When you stop apologizing for your pace, others learn to adjust to it, or they simply accept it. When you prioritize your health without guilt, you inspire others to do the same, and you set a powerful example of self-care. When you share your wisdom unreservedly, you enrich conversations and bridge generational gaps. When you say no with confidence, you teach others to respect your boundaries, and you make room for the yeses that truly matter. When you confidently express your opinions, you encourage genuine dialogue, and when you embrace your personal style, you give others permission to do the same, fostering a more accepting and diverse environment for everyone. The true surprise I mentioned at the beginning, the powerful shift in perspective, is this. When you stop apologizing for being yourself, you discover a profound sense of inner peace and an authentic joy that you might not have realized was missing. It's not just about what you stop doing, it's about what you start gaining. You gain clarity about who you are, what you value, and how you want to spend the precious time you have. You gain genuine connections with people who appreciate you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. You gain a lightness of being, a freedom from the constant self-monitoring and the need to please. This isn't about becoming arrogant or uncaring. It's about settling into a deep, comfortable acceptance of yourself, flaws and all. It's about standing in your truth. This journey is not about perfection. You might still slip up and say sorry for something unnecessary now and then. That's okay. The goal is awareness and the intention to shift each time you catch yourself. It's an opportunity to pause, to reframe, and to choose a different, more empowering response. It's a practice, a gentle recalibration of a lifelong habit, and it is one of the most liberating practices you can adopt at any stage of life, especially as you navigate these incredibly rich and valuable later years. So, I truly hope this conversation has resonated with you. I encourage you to take these insights and begin to apply them, even in small ways. In your daily life, start by noticing when you apologize unnecessarily, and then gently challenge yourself to rephrase or simply remain silent. See how it feels. Feel that subtle shift in energy, that quiet surge of confidence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you found yourself apologizing for things you shouldn't? What's one thing you're going to stop apologizing for starting today? Please share your experiences and insights in the comments section below. Your stories are valuable, and they can inspire so many others in our community. If you found this video helpful, if it sparked something within you, please give it a thumbs up. Your likes really help our content reach more people who might benefit from this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you more empowering and practical content to help you live your best life at every age. Remember, every day is an opportunity to shed what no longer serves you and to step more fully into the incredible, unique person you are. Live your best life, fearlessly and authentically. At every age, you truly deserve it.